All right, well, the campaign season plagued with a lot of drama with scandal after scandal rocking both campaigns. So how much will it impact the polls come Tuesday?
Well, here to weigh in, Democratic strategist, our good friend Chuck Rocha, and the managing editor of the Washington Free Beacon, Aaron McLean. Nice to see both of you this morning, bright and early. Chuck, you know, it's interesting. You look at these last few days where Hillary Clinton is spending her time. Philadelphia, Tim Kaine going to Virginia. Do they smell some big trouble?
Well, you don't leave any stone left unturned here at the end. And luckily, she got a whole stable full of surrogates that she can send all over the place. But let's talk about Michigan in particular. I'll take you back to the primary where she was up like 8 points the day before election. I worked for Bernie. We went in there and we won that race. Michigan is very volatile. And in these places, you don't want to take anything for granted, especially if you've been gone for a while. My firm, we did 1 million contacts yesterday. There's lots of people like my firm who are talking to Democrats all over the country. But some of them may feel neglected that they haven't seen her or she hadn't been around or she hadn't been running any TV advertisement. And then with the momentum of Trump, you don't want to take anything for granted.
Absolutely. You look at just her visiting Pennsylvania last night. I mean, that 2 weeks ago wasn't really even in play, Aaron. Some people are calling it maybe the Comey effect, where you look at how much has changed so quickly in just the past 2 weeks. Do you think there's something to that?
Absolutely. Look, Hillary clearly smells smoke in the firewall. There's no question about it. Look, timing is everything. This race has had a clear pattern over the course of the last few months, just to give you some context. We've gone from periods where Hillary is clearly up, 5, 6, even 7 in the national polls, to periods like right now where the race seems to be close to something like a statistical tie. If the race continued from now on for the next few weeks, it might swing back in Hillary's favor. So the question is, are we past the turning point in a way that the polls haven't reflected, or is Donald Trump peaking right at the right moment? And of course Comey's letter played a role in that.
Yeah, and Chuck, obviously as a Bernie supporter, you're looking at these Bernie voters who, what are they going to do come Election Day? Are they going to sit out? Yeah, are they going to sit out? They're going to say, you know what, this is not the person that I then moved my vote from Bernie to Hillary. Donald Trump seems to be closing the gap in some of these blue states. As we take a look at this map, this latest map this morning, Florida, Pennsylvania, Michigan, and there's even some rumblings this morning of Minnesota and whether the Trump campaign would head out there. What do you think, Chuck? Are these Bernie Sanders, these undecideds, these late movers going to go to Hillary Clinton and get out of bed on Tuesday?
So the recent polling would suggest that around 70–75% of them has said via polling that they would support her. But what polling doesn't tell you is it's a mathematical equation based off of a predictive turnout model. That sounds like a bunch of fancy words coming from a guy in a cowboy hat. But what it actually means is they don't know about down ballot, about these young people who only use their cell phones. This youth vote, this millennial vote who love Bernie Sanders, that's the big unknown about will they get up and go.
Yeah, but Chuck, you've seen the group of people she's had hanging out with her the last few days. I mean, Katy Perry, Beyonce.
I don't know if you've heard.
Jay-Z, I mean, aren't they going to help?
I think it helps in certain areas, and I think that it helps rev up the base, right? Now, she hadn't talked to the base in many months, so it's just another thing that you see every cycle of them rolling out folks.
Aaron, are they going to be, is Trump going to be able to flip some of these blue states? We had Caitlin Huey-Burns on the show yesterday from Real Clear Politics. She says Pennsylvania is always Republican fool's gold. They think they can play there, and they end up getting crushed there.
I think at this point some of these states are just literally too close to call. Pennsylvania, I think, still leans in the direction of Hillary. New Hampshire is definitely too close to call at this point. Chuck takes a very sanguine view of the movement on the Hillary campaign in Michigan right now. I would like to see the Clinton campaign's internal polling that's sending Hillary and President Obama to Michigan on Monday. I'd like to see the polling that's sending Tim Kaine to Virginia on Monday. These are not confident moves.
Right, very interesting. And ultimately, Chuck, you know this, it may all come down to the state of Florida. What's going to happen there?
Well, I think that anything could happen. I think that when you look at the race in Florida, it could go either way. And I think if you look at the Latino early vote that's happened there, I think that may be the ultimate gift, because right now they say that that's up.
Aaron, final word. Florida, what do you think?
Florida could definitely go either way. I mean, look, the Democrats are very, very enthusiastic about the early Latino vote. It's an open question as to whether that's going to work for them.
Chuck
and Aaron, 5 in the morning. Hope you got that extra hour of sleep.
Good to see you.
There we go.